Okay, this is going to be a quick overview of sound and how sound works in multimedia environments. You you actually work with sound files in Flash. You work with them some in web applications and web development. So we're not going to actually do a project where you work with sound files, but we are going to talk about sound as a multimedia element. The element of sound can be important to achieve the goals of a multimedia website. Sounds adds another dimension. If used well, it's an extremely powerful element that can stimulate emotional responses that will never be activated from text and graphics alone. Sound should be used selectively and appropriately whenever and wherever it will help convey the intended message or complement the purpose of the website. If improperly created, sound files can take too much time to download. On the other hand, if sound files are properly designed and incorporated into a web page, they will be clicked to load, and they can significantly enhance the site by supplementing online presentations, images, animations, and video. It also sets the mood for the website and can add to the overall experience. Excuse me. Streaming audio. The sound file will begin playing after part of the file is downloaded. To help ensure effectiveness, it is important to incorporate sound files that are high quality, appropriate, and consistent with the goals of the multimedia site. Web has made it very easy for users to purchase and download music files directly from online music stores. Entertainment and the gaming industry has spurred the growth of computers with multimedia capabilities. Web sites designed for entertainment have background music that sets the mood to light and cheery or dark and dreary. Audio can either be synced with the occurrence of other objects in the production, or it can serve as a trigger when clicked. Providing controls such as skip, pause, mute, volume adjustment, etc. is an effective way of keeping users involved and motivated and in control of what's going on the site as they're interacting with it. The decision to incorporate sound into a multimedia website should have solid reasoning behind it. Sounds are either content sounds or ambient sounds. Content sounds furnish information. Narration and dialogue are content sounds. Music and other sounds can also be considered content sounds if they are part of the topic itself. For example, the sound of a motor would be content sound if it were used to distinguish among different engine problems. Ambient sounds reinforce messages and set the mood. Music is a universal language that most people enjoy and appreciate. Special sound effects can reinforce or enliven a message. Classical music can be used in the background to set the mood for a website. On literature and the arts, while New Age rhythms would be better for a multimedia site on the healing power of crystals. Many splash screens or intro pages use background music to set a mood for the website before the user even enters the site. When you speak, vibrations called sound waves are created. These sound waves have a recurring pattern or an analog wave pattern called a waveform. All sounds have a waveform, and the waveform includes the frequency, the amplitude, and the harmonic content of the sound. Alright, amplitude is the distance between the valley and the peak of a waveform. The amplitude of a waveform determines its volume, which is measured in decibels. The higher the peak, the louder the sound. A decibel is the smallest variation in amplitude that can be detected by the human ear. The frequency is the number of peaks that occur in 1 second measured by the distance between the peaks. The frequency of a waveform determines its pitch. The greater the distance between peaks, the lower the sound. Frequency is measured in hertz. A pattern that occurs every second is equal to 1 hertz. If the pattern recurs 1,000 times in 1 second, it would be equal to 1,000 hertz or 1 kilohertz. Alright, analog sound is a continuous stream of sound waves. For sound to be included on a multimedia website, the sound waves must be converted from analog to digital. Just as an image has to be digitized or converted to ones and zeros in order for the computer to recognize it, a sound must also be digitized. In other words, in order for the computer to recognize and manipulate the sound, the waveform must be converted to numbers. The process of converting an analog sound to numbers is called digitizing or sound sampling. in which every fraction of a second a sample of the sound is recorded in digital bits. An analog sound that has been converted to numbers is called digital audio. Two factors that determine sound quality are sample rate and resolution. Sample rate is the number of waveform samples per second, or the number of times the sample is taken. Measured in kilohertz, with 11 kilohertz, 22 kilohertz, and 44 kilohertz being the most common sampling rates. Resolution is the number of binary bits processed for each sound wave, sometimes referred to as sample size. As the number of bits used to sample the sound increases, the range and the quality of the sound improves. Alright, mono sounds are flat and unrealistic compared to stereo sounds. Stereo sounds are much more dynamic and lifelike. Mono sound files are sometimes a more appropriate choice on the web where storage and transfer are major concerns. Web audio, downloaded or streamed. Downloaded audio file must be entirely saved to the user's computer before it can be played. And then streaming is a more advanced process that allows sound files to be played as it's being downloaded before the entire file is transferred to the computer. Once part of it is transferred, it can start playing. Compression is a technique that mathematically reduces the size of a file. It's beneficial for storing and transferring files. Type of compression applied impacts quality of sound file and file size. Digital audio sources. Clip audio gives access to pre-recorded digital audio clips of music and sound effects. There's a lot of free ones that you can get out there. So you saw there freeaudioclips.com, where you can download free little sound clips. Most of the sound on CDs has been sampled at almost 45,000 samples per second, which is very high quality. You need to be sure to carefully read the licensing agreement that comes with any clip audio. In addition to using pre-recorded audio files, you can record, digitize, and process your own sound files. You need to have proper planning. This is critical if sound is to be incorporated into your website. If the site is interactive, flowcharts should distinguish between which sounds are played as users make different choices. Minimally, a sound card and software program are needed to digitize sound. The sound card samples or digitizes the sound based on the sample rate and resolution, and then produces the digital approximation of the analog signal. Microphones translate your analog signals into electrical impulses. An analog to digital converter converts the electrical impulses to numbers that can be stored, understood, and manipulated by a microprocessor. MIDI is the standard format agreed on by the major manufacturers of musical instruments. As the standard was established so musical instruments can communicate sound information with one another. To communicate, MIDI instruments have in and out ports that enable them to be connected to another MIDI-ready device. And MIDI stands for Musical Instrument Digital Interface. Let's see. The MIDI makes it possible and affordable for even novice musicians to import digital audio music directly into their computer to be used for recordings for the web or for personal use. Today's computers and synthesizers make it possible for the average person to produce high quality, relatively inexpensive recorded sound and music. Pieces of sound files may need to be copied and moved, or several sound files may need to be mixed and spliced together. The Society of Motion Picture and Television Engineers was developed to provide frame-accurate video and audio data. By using professional SMPTE codes, beats of music can be set to match changes in video for all standard video frame rates. Most authoring tools and animation programs allow you to import sound files by choosing them and importing them into the library where they can be manipulated within the software. To play sound on a computer system, the user needs a sound card and speakers or a headset. The digital audio file is sent through a digital to analog converter so that it can be heard, and it's important to test sounds under a variety of different conditions. Traditional sound studio equipment is utilized to record, mix, edit audio, costs tens of thousands of dollars. With sound editing and mixing software, sound files can be produced for much less money. In the sound editing and mixing industry, there are a number of high-quality licensed and shareware packages worth mentioning. The Berkeley Integrated Audio Software System there is a leader in developing solutions for sound editing and mixing. The company offers a number of different sound editing products, each of which serves a slightly different need and audience. The products include Peak and DEC. Peak is a leading digital audio editor for Macintosh platforms, ideal for manipulating sound files. It touts the fastest and most intuitive waveform editing available on any platform. Using Peak, you can modify sound properties including volume, pitch, and tempo. Sounds modified with Peak can be imported into multimedia websites, animations, and authoring programs. Sony is a leading developer and marketer of digital media and internet software tools. Sony has developed several software solutions that enable consumers to create and capture audio, edit the content, and deliver it via the web. Among others, Sony's digital audio tools include the award-winning SoundForge, Vegas, and Acid. SoundForge, similar to Peak but designed for Windows, sets the quality of sound file, including sample rate, the resolution or sample size, file to be mono or stereo, and that sort of thing. You can record your own audio and then enhance it with different effects and processes. SoundForge offers an easy-to-use interface and intuitive features. You can even use it to open and save files in a number of different audio formats and to create streaming audio content. Vegas is a frame-by-frame audio and video synchronization tool. It's high-quality streaming media. Multi-track recording is possible. It offers simple drag-and-drop operations that allow you to precisely and visually align, cut, paste, move, and crossfade audio events on multiple tracks or synchronize it with your video. Acid is music production software that offers musicians and media professionals the freedom to create custom music. It includes a library of professionally recorded loops that Acid can match to the tempos of your own music. It offers an unlimited number of tracks as well as the ability to adjust the volume, pan, and add effects for each track. Acid is MIDI compatible. And then another one that it talks about a little bit is DigiDesign Pro Tools, which is the world's leading non-linear audio editing workstation and solutions manufacturer. DigiDesigns develops state-of-the-art solutions for complete audio development for movies, multimedia, and the web. It's a powerful and popular high-end audio solution on the market. Cross-platform package of hardware and software tools for every step in the creative media process. There are tools for synthesizing, sampling, recording, editing, mixing, mastering, and distributing. Okay. There's also Adobe Audition, which was formerly Cool Edit. Digital audio software package that is comprehensive yet easy to learn. It includes extensive top quality digital effects and it can mix multiple tracks. Once you've recorded or loaded a file, you can cut, paste, and move audio around just as you do in any other sound editing package. Okay. Let's see. All three media players, QuickTime, Real Player, and Windows Media Player, are equipped to open and display most popular audio file formats. Possesses the ability to play live streaming audio. QuickTime and Real Player are the best choices for streaming media. Your sound file formats include advanced audio coding. It's the core of the MPEG-4 specification and is the new audio format of choice for the internet. Wireless and digital broadcast arenas. Provides audio encoding that compresses much more effectively than older formats such as MP3. You have your audio interchange file format. It's Apple's waveform format. It's also supported on Windows and Unix machines, though. Format supports a large number of sampling rates up to 32 bits. Let's see. The Audio Basic is the Sun audio format. It's developed by the Sun Microsystems to be used on Unix, Next, and Sun Sparks workstations. 16-bit compressed audio format that is fairly prevalent on the web because it plays on a wide number of platforms. Most browsers contain internal support for Audio Basic playback. Emblaze Audio is a sound format developed specifically for the internet by GEO for its Emblaze products. It uses a revolutionary compression scheme that takes an audio file and shrinks it down to 1/50th of its original size. Uses Java so that you can play your files without plugins, and streams the audio so that you start to hear the file before the file is completely downloaded. MIDI is the internationally accepted file format for storing MIDI data. MIDI files have a format that is used to represent electronic music produced by MIDI devices. Okay. This format provides instructions on how to replay music. It does not actually record the waveform. In other words, there are MIDI codes for making notes loud or soft, turning them off or on, and changing their tone. MIDI is not music, it is instructions. For this reason, MIDI clips offer smaller file sizes than most other audio file formats, and because MIDI files are small and efficient, they're fairly common on the web. MP3 is an open standard technology that uses file compression to create near CD quality audio files that are small enough to be distributed via the web. Real Networks formats has been a leader in both developing and acquiring the latest and cutting-edge streaming media technologies. RA, RAM, RM are current real formats and offer excellent compression and incredibly popular and widespread support for streaming audio on the internet. SWF is your flash or shockwave file type. They're quite small and they support streaming. They can also be used for delivering audio alone. WAV, commonly used, supported format on Windows. It's developed by Microsoft, of course, this is on Windows. When developing sound for the internet, it's important to make sure you use the encoding method that the player you are recommending supports, because the QuickTime player will also play WAV files. It can be used to deliver audio via the web. Windows Media Audio is powerful compression technology, delivering audio and video quality at any bit rate. Okay, so that concludes the section on sound. Again, I just hit the high points because sound gets covered in web development class and in the Flash class. So if you have questions, if you haven't had one of those courses and you don't understand, if you have questions, let me know.